Hello, I am Chrissy Butis. I am the Chief Government Affairs Officer at the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. I'm joined by my colleague, Nikki Sandelier, our Director of Economic Policy Research. And we're here today to have a discussion with Nikki and our members about a couple of different studies that recently came out about the state of economy related to New Jersey and the United States. And we're going to look at adjusted gross income and gross domestic product and why these are important. As I mentioned to you before, we study here at NJBIA how the economy is doing to better inform our policymakers on specific policy initiatives they may be pursuing through legislation. And these two economic indicators are a key point that we want to continue to monitor and have a communication about with our policymakers. So let's jump right into it. Nikki, we recently had received updated third quarter gross domestic product numbers. Please tell us a little bit what they were about and why they're important to study.
Sure. So gross domestic product, or GDP, is one of the indicators that we study that signifies the size and the health of the economy. So there's two ways that we study GDP. One is on real GDP, which is the total number of how large our economy is, gross domestic product, and the other is by percentage change in the GDP growth per quarter. So the new numbers that came out was the percentage change by quarter. In Q3 2019, we found that New Jersey not only exceeded the national average, but ranked first in our region.
Oh, great. So, and how does quarter three, the third quarter, differ from quarters 1 and 2 in 2019?
Sure. So quarter 1 and quarter 2, New Jersey experienced slow percentage change GDP growth, which means New Jersey lagged behind the rest of our region and also the nation on how much our economy was expanding. Q3 differs because New Jersey then took that loss that we had experienced in Q1 and Q2 and regained that average in Q3. So now New Jersey's on the same playing field as the average growth for the rest of our region.
So that's good news at this point.
It is good news.
And I think it's important that we continue to study the trends. And so can you touch a little bit about how the trends have worked over the past year or two?
Sure. So New Jersey has consistently lagged the region in percent of change in GDP growth by quarter. There tends to be some fluctuation in quarter changes. So Q4, New Jersey could do great and exceed the national average, or we could see the same trends as we have for the last year, and New Jersey could fall to the bottom of the pack.
Great. And now let's transition to adjusted gross income. So why is it also important to understand and study the migration of adjusted gross income? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So migration patterns are normal. It is normal that people come and go from any state. What's concerning is when we start to see a consistent increase in the amount of money that's leaving the state annually. It's important to study this because it's potential tax dollars that are leaving the state.
Great. And so NJBIA's analysis of migration of AGA started back in, 2004, 2005. What are some of the trends that you've been seeing for the last 13 or so years?
Sure. So in 2004, 2005, New Jersey experienced a net loss of about $1.8 billion. As we move forward and we look year-over-year analysis, what we found is New Jersey is now currently up to about $3.2 billion loss in adjusted gross income. That is the net, and that is considering the in-migration and out-migration of money, both domestic and international migration.
And so what have the latest numbers shown us?
The latest numbers show us that we are at about a $3.2 billion net loss of adjusted gross income.
So it's very clear that we want to keep as much of those dollars here in the state of New Jersey, and we're concerned because that number has continued to increase.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I hope that was helpful to all of our members and to our viewers today. We're going to continue to keep track of these economic indicators and report to our policymakers on how New Jersey fares, not only related to the United States, but also to our surrounding states. As I've always mentioned, New Jersey wants to remain a competitive environment and make sure that we're not an outlier compared to some of our surrounding states. And these are just two of those economic indicators that we keep an eye on. So Nikki, thank you for your time this morning. And as always, if anyone has any questions for me or the Government Affairs Department, please click on our website and go to the advocacy link, and you can find our contact information there. Thank you.